Whoa, where am I? Hello? Can anyone see me? Hi there, it's Ito. And welcome to the latest version of the Sanctum forecast. This is forecast number 22, currently 11 p.m. in Tokyo, Japan. And as you can see, we actually have this really nifty Sanctum flag that Super Team Japan made for us. We will definitely be using this in the office. This is super sick. I love this. But it's very good to see the Cloud fam. You guys might be a little bit surprised that we're doing a forecast on a Thursday, which is not our usual day that we do forecasts. But I believe that we're doing it because yesterday we had a major announcement when we usually do our forecast, and we have many things to talk about today, summarizing it for people who weren't able to attend yesterday, and of course to answer questions related to our governance proposal, as well as when is ASR? I'm sure that is a burning question that many of you are dying to ask, and don't worry about it. We will cover it all. But of course, my name is Eno. I am your Chief Vibes Officer over at Sanctum. And why are we here? We do this spiel every single week, but it's always worth talking about because we need to reset. It's been a very, very rough week for anybody who's been working in this space. But let's talk number one. It's all about the Sanctosphere. And what is the Sanctosphere exactly? Number one, of course, it's about the most bullish news about Sanctum. Number two, it's about the most delightful products that are being built not only on Solana, but also in all of crypto. In fact, we are the fourth largest protocol in Solana and the 22nd biggest protocol in all of crypto. That is a fact that I am extremely proud of. This team has been shipping very, very hard and fast. And of course, we have many things to talk about today, especially related to Horizon. I see some really, really delightful Cloud fam here. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Sanctum governance machine, the engine that makes it possible to engage with our community in a meaningful way. And man, oh man, you guys had pages and pages and pages and pages of comments and feedback related to CLOUD-005. And that's what I mean when I say it's a machine. A real machine is one that runs. And this one runs on community input, as well as all of the effort and blood and sweat and tears that you guys put into, considering the proposals that we put up for Funtarchy. And I really appreciate your participation. And of course, we can't do it without the most earnest Cloud fam. And we're just going to take a quick break here just so we can say hello to everybody. W Soul, yo, yo, yo. Good to see you, my friend. Sanctum 2.0. Yes, we are in the new era of Sanctum. And P So Light, I cloud you very, very much. Yes, it is a surprise forecast. Usually we do these on Wednesdays, but today is a Thursday, and it is absolutely worth talking about all the latest developments over at Sanctum. Crypto Shroom, I saw you yesterday on the stream. I really appreciate your participation. It's I don't know where you are exactly in the world, but for some of us, it's almost close to midnight, edging towards 1 a.m. So I just want to say GM or good night to some clouds. Martin, hello. I know that you're tuning in from South America. So if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be around 11 a.m. your time. It's great to have Cloud fam all around the world. He says, hello, Ito, my brother. Martin, you're my brother. You're fantastic. We have Mackledarren. Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Mental.soul. I am also a little bit mental.soul. And Lucio, one of our most cherished Cloud masters, honestly. I say this every single time I see him, but whenever I do see him on the stream, I just want to shout out that truly Lucio has been with us through thick and thin, and specifically with Sanctum Spectrum, which is an art initiative. I know that he did a contest recently where he awarded some of the best emojis that are being created, not only for the Discord, but also for Telegram stickers. There's some really wonderful art and work that you put into there, Lucio. So I always appreciate, your efforts to grow the Cloud community. And of course, we have Jeshik. Hey, man, how are you? Long time no see. 안녕하세요. 잘 지내고 있나? We also have Blueberries GM Cloud fam. This seems like a new name. I haven't seen you around, and I'm very happy to see that you've joined our ranks. We also have some wonderful participation from our friends Danica as well as Scarlett. I really appreciate when you guys repost the stream. If anybody else feels like reposting the stream, that is also very much appreciated to help spread the word about all the wonderful work that we're doing here at Sanctum. And in fact, the backbone of everything we do is this top of funnel. And that top of funnel is you guys, right? Without our frontline soldiers, without our Cloud family, there's just no way in heck that we can do what we can do. And I just genuinely appreciate that you guys tune in every single week. Who else do we have here? Oh, Lucio also reposted the stream. We appreciate you. Goleto, hey, how are you, my friend? I hope everything is well over in Europe. I won't mention what country you're in, although it is in the flags there, and Madlands on top. We have, of course, Web3 Theo, another new face that I love to see. Sanctum on top. 11 a.m. here in Argentina. I'm glad that my suspicions were confirmed. And NY Soul, hey man, what's good, fam? Long time no see. Lucio says soon to be number one. Absolutely, that's the mission. Because if you believe what I believe, which is that Solana is going to grow 1,000x over the next decade, and you also believe that Sanctum is a company that captures value at every layer of the stack, from users to protocols, protocols to validators, validators to stakers. If you believe that Sanctum is the company that is going to capture value at every single layer of the stack, and you also believe simultaneously that Solana is going to 1,000x in size, I'm not talking about the price of the token. I mean the Sol economy, right? The transactions, the user activity on the protocols, the amount of stakers on the network. If you believe all these things, then Sanctum is perfectly positioned. We are the company that is going to capture all of that value for the Sol economy. And eventually, not right now, but eventually, all that value will flow to the Cloud token, which makes everybody happy, right? But first, the mission, of course, is to grow very, very aggressively. And the numbers don't lie. Okay, we even covered this on the Horizons yesterday. I'll go over that in just a little bit. But Sanctum has been growing very, very aggressively. That is what we set out to do earlier this year, and we are achieving that in leaps and bounds. Now, who are some other Cloud fan members? Of course, we have Nick backstage. Hey, Nick, good to see you. Loving the activeness in the recent live chats. Yeah, I think there's been a huge uptick in activity from the Cloud fam in participation of these forecasts. And I just genuinely appreciate that you guys are taking the time to comment and also to ask meaningful questions, which is the ethos over at Sanctum. We don't really like hype. What we do like, though, is thoughtful questions that improve us so that we can build better products and a better community. Jeshik says, heh, yes, doing great. Quite surprised we have a forecast today. You should not be surprised because this is the mission, my friend. Whatever we have to do, whatever it takes to over communicate to you folks, that is exactly what we will do. We also have Dark. Good to see you, Dark. And Coletta, thank you so much for reposting the stream. That is so kind of you. Who else do we have here? Oh, Sakia.eth. Oh, hey, I made it. It's good to see you, brother. Yeah. And do we have anyone else? Lucal Crypto. Let's go, Sanctum. Good morning. Yes, let's go, Sanctum. Let's see. Oh, that would be so cool if you guys could use cloud emojis in the stream. I don't know technically what it would take in order for that to work, but I do really like the idea. And last but not least, we're going to end with Ginga. Ginga, I don't see you on the streams these days, but whenever you do come, it is an absolute pleasure to see you. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined the stream today. And of course, we had a big major announcement yesterday, and we'll be covering everything that you guys want to know related to Horizons, which is our live stream event showcasing the latest developments over at Sanctum, as well as the results of the CLOUD-005 vote, as well as when's ASR. I'm sure that's what everyone has on top of mind. So moving forward, of course, we're here to celebrate together as one big family, and there are many, many things to celebrate. We are thinking very long term here, and that takes me, of course, to our, house rules. So, number one, I need you to hype the chat. And I'm really happy because you guys are already hyping the chat without me even asking you to. In fact, I'm just going to bring on Giancarlo over here because, he is also OG Cloud fam. Always happy to see you, man. Como está na? We also have Jean-Marcel de Carvalho Santos. And I am pretty sure I butchered your name, my friend, but hello, it is very good to see you. We also have Hope7 GM. And again, moving on back to the forecast. We also want you to think long term, right? And so long term means thinking strategically about what's going to happen to the Sol economy, what is Sanctum's position related to the Sol economy, and of course, Cloud Token is all in the center of everything that we do. And we need you to be thoughtful and kind. Of course, things can get a little bit of high pressure over here, but that doesn't mean that we can't take a deep breath in and out and be thoughtful and kind to our fellow human beings. This is the type of world that we want to build. The earnest will rule the new world. And of course, we want you to have a good time because if you're not having a good time, why even bother, right? And truly, that's the way that I like to live my life. If I'm not having a good time, it is what it is. But we have to have a good time together. Now, moving forward, if you want to catch all the latest Sanctum events, and in fact, I'm going to bring our very good friend Nick here. Nick, honestly, he's one of the unsung heroes over at Sanctum. He does a lot of janitor work, I think, that everybody in the team appreciates. And one of those things is he's been preparing these forecast slides now. I used to do them, but now Nick does them. This is just a small example of the work that Nick does that takes hours and hours of time. that makes it possible for the rest of us to focus on, let's say sales or growing revenue of the company, or thinking about what we should do for cloud holders. Nick is the backbone of a lot of this work. And the reason I'm going to bring you on here, Nick, 3, 2, 1, ba-boom. Hey, Nick, good to see you.
Hey fam, GM.
Yeah,
Yeah, good to see
yeah.
everyone here as well. Yeah.
So the reason why I'm bringing you on is because the last time I showed this, you actually had a pickleball event, if I'm not mistaken, over in Malaysia. Could you tell us a little bit more about that event? How did that event go?
Yeah, the event went well, but we didn't get as much people as intended because we it was set out to rush of the event, but we are doing it properly this time with lots of participants, bigger courts, and much earlier announcement date as well. So we're still preparing on that. The date will be out soon, and once it's out, it'll be on this Luma as well. So please,
Yes.
if you wanna participate, just scan this, subscribe to our official Luma calendar, and you'll be informed of all of the events, including future forecasts. Like I think Lucio said in the chat, right? Let me bring it up real quick. I don't see yet, but yeah, he sent in the chat saying that Luma did a great job today, letting him know about the forecast. So yeah, that's one of the
Mm,
benefits of Luma. So it will inform you through email, or if you have the mobile app, it will just pop right up. And if you add it to your calendar, it will pop in your calendar as well. So yeah, that solved the problem of people not knowing when the forecast is happening. And yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty good.
Do you happen to have one of the Sanctum pickleball paddles with you?
No, it's not done yet. Not done yet.
Oh
Still
no.
in
Okay, that's fine.
still in production.
Well,
Yeah, but
well, next time I would like to see it. I'm actually very curious. We love to see creative things. For example, again, our lovely little Sanctum flag that was made for us by our friends over at. It's not really a flag, guys. It's actually a table covering, but still, it very much looks like a flag and be cut can be cut to be a flag. Sanctum all day.
yeah.
I'm gonna be maybe bringing this over to Breakpoint. You can see me with the Sanctum flag all around my shoulders. We represent Sanctum because Sanctum represents a very specific mission, and the mission that we represent is cold, clear ethics. Right? We do not cross any lines when it comes to our community. We always do our best to communicate, our intentions honestly. And I really loved if you looked at the Horizon. I keep talking about Horizon. I can't help myself. We put so much effort into that. But if you looked at the Horizon interview we did yesterday, FP was talking about something called the Kampong spirit, right? And
Yeah.
Kampong, is this idea of brotherhood and loyalty and honor between, I guess I believe more in a Malaysian, let's say, villager setting, right? Like in these kind of smaller communities, there's this real sense of what honor means. Actually, what can you tell us a little bit more about the Kampong spirit, Nick?
Yeah, so because kampong means like a small town or small village, right? People often knew each other in the same neighborhood, and everybody is helping each other because you are just a close-knit community and you need to help each other to become better. So yeah, it's a really great spirit to have, and you always can have your back supported by anyone from the neighborhood because people are so friendly and we help each other out during hard times and yeah, during all the times.
And that is exactly what we're doing here at Sanctum. What we need is people who really believe in this Kampong spirit, people who believe in giving back to their fellow man, and giving as well as receiving help. Also asking for help is a skill. I mean, there are some people who are extractive, but there are others who, even despite the fact that they need help, don't ask for it. And I'm actually thinking about Nick because sometimes I feel like that guy just crushes himself with work, and he doesn't ask for help. But anyways, Nick, thank you so much for all the work that you do at Sanctum. I sincerely appreciate you, and we're going to go back to the show.
All right,
Love to see
see
you,
you.
Nick. Adios. Okay, so please scan this QR code if you want to stay up to date with wonderful events. For example, like the pickleball event that Nick is organizing over in Malaysia. If you guys have any events that are Sanctum related that you would like to throw, please let us know. We love to see this Kampong spirit all around the world. And of course, we can maybe even add it to the Sanctum calendar, of course. That would be a lot of fun. And let's just look at the comments here. I love what Giancarlo said. The hardest stance, do or do not. There is no try. Absolutely. We are staking our reputations. We are staking our effort. We are staking our youths working on this company. And we do it because we believe it. And, Cloud is a representation of Sanctum. And Sanctum is the company that's going to capture value at all layers of the Sanctum economy. And the Sanctum economy is going to grow 1,000x. Maybe not the price of the token, but at least the amount of economic value that is exchanged between users and protocols and validators to stakers. So that's why we're here. People are making comments about my hair. I am actually growing a little bit bald, probably because I barely get any sleep these days, and I'm working overtime over at Sanctum. My wife is looking at the shower drain, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you losing hair?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I'm losing a lot of hair, but that's okay. It's all a lot of fun, and I actually am genuinely having a lot of fun." Going to Web3 though, he says, feels good streaming from this end, man. Let's effing cloud. We love it. Stake.net says, not financial advice, but about to ape on some cloud just to feel like I'm doing something good. I appreciate you, brother. And also we have Lucio with a thumbs up and a heart. You are wonderful. And Stake.net, you know me. I know you. I love Stake.net. Stake.net is wonderful. Okay, moving forward. So of course, we do a best forecast thread on X every single week as a thank you to people who take all of this content and they turn it into readable, digestible threads. So that the rest of Twitter can know what the heck it is that we talk for this hour or so. Sometimes a little bit shorter, but you know what I mean. It is quite a lot of content for people to digest. And actually, this week I am very proud to say that we picked 2 winners, and the reason why we picked 2 winners is just because we were feeling it. We loved both threads, and it was just impossible to choose this week. And we felt that both of these people did a wonderful job. And so, first of all, we'd like to give an award over to Hillary Chikendu. Hillary, you haven't been a winner for a while, but this is definitely not your first time winning the Sanctum forecast threads. We always appreciate the quality of your writing. Thank you so much. Please reach out to Nick, and we will make sure that you are properly rewarded for the effort that you've put into spreading the Sanctum gospel. And of course, we have Nenye. Man, Nenye, I don't know what to tell you. You are doing an absolutely wonderful job. I love the threads that you make. If you scan these QR codes, you can see the work that 2 of these wonderful winners of this week did. Of course, we have Hillary and we have Nenye. And by the way, Hillary and Nenye, don't worry. We're not going to make you split the $50 prize. So it's $25 each. It's going to be $50 a piece. Okay. Don't worry about that. So congratulations for winning this week's forecast thread recap. You both are doing a wonderful job spreading, all the good tidings that Sanctum has to the rest of Twitter. And we sincerely appreciate it. Thank you very much for your service. Horizon. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. So let me explain what Horizon is for people who weren't able to catch the stream yesterday. So who here is familiar with Apple's WWDC? It's an event that Apple does every year. And it's pre-recorded. It used to be a live event, but after COVID, they started doing these pre-recorded events. And if you're familiar with what WWDC is, Apple, of course, develops a lot of things throughout the year. They create new chips like I think the M4, and they create AirPod Maxes as well as the AirPods themselves, the earbud editions, like so. I'm actually wearing them right now. New iPhones. They have new software. Of course, they're always working on AI. But the thing is, even though they're working on these things throughout the year, they don't just announce them as they become ready. They don't announce like one product in March and one product in April and one product in May, one product in June. That would make no sense. And the reason why that doesn't make sense is because it's impossible to concentrate attention around this suite of projects. So that's what Horizons is. Horizon is a way for Sanctum to concentrate attention around a suite of projects. We like to think of this as Sanctum's breakpoint, or maybe a different way of thinking about it is like Jupiter's cat stambool. Sanctum Horizon is a way for the entire community to rally around the latest and greatest updates to product. Obviously, if you're a person who pays attention to the forecast every single week, much of the content over in Horizon actually would not have been all that new to you. But what I will say is that Horizon is not meant only for the community to rally around. It's also meant for the other, let's say, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people in our industry who do not know what we do. And I remember, once we started doing Validator as a service as a new product line, which started this year in May, a lot of people were very surprised. We were doing a lot of. I've been telling you guys that I've been working on institutional sales for Sanctum for quite some time. I've been repeating this over and over for the last few months. But one of the common pieces of feedback that we would get from customers that we would talk to was like, "Oh, what? If I had knew that you guys ran a validator as a white label validator service, then I would have reached out to you guys. I just had no idea. I thought that you guys were only the LST company." That was a huge pain point for the sales team, and quite frankly, we weren't feeling very comfortable with it. And so we were trying to think of creative ways in which we could kind of spread this message that, hey, Sanctum has grown up as a company. And we've expanded way beyond just the LSTs. Of course, we still do LST infrastructure. Of course, that is our bread and butter. Of course, we maintain the liquidity infrastructure that makes branded LSTs possible for any protocol on Solana. But we also offer 2 new services, which includes Validators as a service as well as Gateway, which is our transaction routing service. We will talk about all of those separately, but some other updates that we talked about at Horizon, of course, is our revenue, and this is something that I'm very proud of. In the first year that Sanctum turned a profit, they turned a profit of about $6,000. The second year that they turned a profit, it was closer to $400,000. And this year, for the first half of 2025, we've expanded that to 3 million. And by next year, I don't want to point out particular goals for our financial goals for next year, because I think the motto is always to under promise and over deliver. But clearly, we want to be as aggressive for the rest of this year as well as next year to expand our revenue, because that means that we could finally do value accrual to all of our token holders, holders of Cloud. I know that you guys have been very patient with us, and we really appreciate this. The thing that you got to know is that what matters the most is that we what matters the most is that we aggressively expand our revenue. And for now, with the amount of revenue that we have, it's just enough to grow out the team, to expand to new verticals, to grow Sanctum out as a company. And of course, in the same way that we increased from $6,000 to $400,000 to now over $3 million for just this year, we hope to see this same rate of growth for next year as well. And when we're talking about Sanctum earning, let's say at some point in time, becoming the next unicorn, like let's say $1 billion in revenue a year, that just means that we can do wonderful things for everybody. And that's what we want to see. So that's why we're hyper obsessed with growing revenue. And I promise you, our intention, of course, is to take care of everybody who holds and earns and stakes Cloud. Horizon was beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Lucio. That was very, very nice. Web3 Roy says, will forecast be done weekly now, or is it not certain yet? It is not certain yet, but of course, when it's appropriate, we do it, 100%. W Horizon, absolutely. Eno's background is even the Horizon color. I didn't realize that, but now that you mention it, yes, you are absolutely correct. It is the Horizon color. Let's see. Crypto Shroom says, mental and physical health is the most important. Caring for yourself is a necessity before caring for others. I do agree with that, but still, we have so much more to do. We have so much more to do, and I'm excited, right? We have to take care of ourselves, but we also have to take care of. Sometimes I find that taking care of others around me is actually the better way to take care of myself. I don't know. I feel like it distracts me from whatever it is I'm thinking about. And Maggle Darren brings up a very good point. We're only 1.5 million sold from being the #1 protocol by DVL, which is absolutely insane. By the way, I would like to say congratulations to our friends over at Jupiter. Obviously, over at Sanctum, we are huge Jupiter fans, and if you've been paying attention, they also timed with Horizon. It just happened to be a coincidence. They grew the Juplend product to $500 million in TVL. That is incredibly impressive for 24 hours. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That's absolutely phenomenal. And we're hoping to do the same, honestly. You didn't read the part of you needing to sleep. Yes, I do need to sleep. That's true. Oh, we have Konstantinos here. Hi, Konstantinos. Hello, Konstantinos. Long time no see. Anyway, so Horizon. For those of you who were not able to make it yesterday, we actually have some recaps for you, and hopefully this will give you a taste of everything that we talked about yesterday. First off, this is a bit of old news, but I think it's worth mentioning because it explains our new suite of products and services. And number one, of course, we acquired Ironforge earlier in this year, and I absolutely love this video. Also, you guys will notice that we have changed the domain for Ironforged. It's not Ironforge anymore. It's ironforge.sanctum.so. Obviously, that's because it's now a new part of the Sanctum product suite. And of course, one of the main reasons that we acquired Ironforge is because of their ability to look forward towards the future, especially as it pertains to transaction landing. They are absolute experts in that space. It was a core missing piece of our team, and we used that expertise to build Gateway. Of course, our first and biggest client for Gateway is Jupiter. In fact, I will say that the people that we built this product for was specifically Jupiter. And what they say is that if you know what your users need, if you talk to your users, you understand their pain points, then good things will come, because it's very likely that they will not be the only team facing those issues. And so we've been pushing Gateway sales very, very aggressively. In fact, one of the reasons why FP has been so busy recently is because he's been reaching out to teams all throughout the ecosystem and using the full weight of his connections and expertise to push the Gateway product and to continue to iterate on it. And of course, Jupiter is one of our first and biggest clients of Gateway. We really appreciate their support, not only for JupSoul, but also for Gateway. And that is just one of the many ways that we are capturing value of the Soul economy, and we're doing it with absolutely the best partners in the space. But that's not all, folks. Another part of Horizon is we announced the new Cloud homepage. And let's just talk about Cloud for a second. There's the baseline, right? And this baseline has to be ethics and transparency, because nobody will invest in a token that they do not trust. And so we've put an incredible amount of work to ensuring that people who are coming and seeing Cloud for the first time, they know that it's a safe investment, right? So part of that, of course, is our token transparency report that we did with Blockworks. We also did a internal Cloud audit that was verified by Blockworks that shows every single transfer that we've ever done of Cloud as a team. Not in the equal, that would be crazy if we tracked every single Cloud transfer. But as long as, at least as it pertains to the team's transfers and usage of Cloud, all of that has been extensively documented. And of course, again, this is why I always sing Nick's praises, because he did all the work into verifying out all these transactions and collecting them together, creating a report, and making it viewable by the public. And of course, that's why we also have this new Cloud page, because we want it to be the gold standard in token transparency. And I can't wait to show you what we've done there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you go over to the sanctum.so website /cloud, you can see all of the statistics that you need to see about it. You can also see what cloud stands for. It is a mission coin. It is a coin that represents our ethics. It is a coin that represents what we believe in. It is a coin that represents the best transparency that you will see on Solana. In fact, for the Blockworks Transparency Report, we were only one of 2 projects, including our very good friends over at MetaDAO, to receive a perfect 40 out of 40 score that cannot be underestimated. It cannot be overstated just how important that is to us to receive that vote of confidence over at Blockworks. But again, our goal is to make any investor who comes to the Sanctum website or is curious about the Cloud token, they will feel safe with their investment. So we really appreciate that we can prove to our partners that we take it very seriously. And without that baseline of trust, I mean, who's going to invest in a token they don't trust, right? So let's see. We have some other questions here. Let's see. I think it was already mentioned before, but for the uninitiated, how will Gateway bring value to Sanctum? It definitely will help Solana a lot once people use it for optimizing transaction delivery and bundling. Will there be fees that Sanctum can accrue via Gateway, or is it a public good? Absolutely not. It is not a public good. I mean, we like to do good things for the ecosystem. We certainly really care about helping grow the pie on Solana. Let's just go back to Gateway for Jeshik over here. We certainly want to help grow the pie, but it's not just a public good, right? We do it because it helps us grow revenue. And in fact, some of the initial results, which I cannot share over here, have been very, very promising. And we have Jay, who's the co-founder of Sanctum. Hey, Jay, I hope you're doing well. And he says, yes, there are fees accruing to Gateway right now. Jay Thorne, it's not a public good. And I just want to say, honestly, let's see, Mackledarin says, you can check the tip accounts in the doc. For now, it seems Sanctum is getting around 0.004 per transaction landed. And the people want Wonderland Season 2. I totally get it, my friend. We also want Wonderland Season 2. But as we've mentioned time and again, we are going to do Wonderland Season 2 right. And here's the struggle that we face as a team. I'll be completely transparent here. For Wonderland Season 1, it was such a smash hit that the pressure is on. I mean, I think everyone agrees that the pets were absolutely adorable. I even get tweets today on my timeline, people asking bro, when are you going to do the riddles again? I think it was Jean Paul, if I'm not mistaken, the guy that has a Psyduck PFP, who said, we really miss the riddles. Could you please give me a new riddle? I actually think that's a super fun culture building moment. But yes, absolutely. Everything we do is for the revenue, but we're going to do it in an ethical way without compromising on our values. And so that is why we have this new Cloud page. And I am just absolutely proud of the team that this is one of the reasons why I joined Sanctum. I joined Sanctum because I deeply believe that the founders are trustworthy people. Obviously, I spoke to a lot of people in the space, but it was Sanctum specifically that I felt like was home. And genuinely, I believe the founders are good people who mean well. And certainly, if you watched the Horizon video yesterday, you'll even see FP end his his monologue by saying, "Look, we've made mistakes, and we will continue to make mistakes." But the key thing about Sanctum is that we learn from our mistakes. We get 1% better every day, if not 2%, 5%, 6% better every single day. And it's reflected in the revenue. It's reflected in the quality of talent that is coming to Sanctum. It's reflected in a lot of things. And genuinely, I'm so excited to be here. So Cloud, here's a new home for it. If you need to check out the website, go to sanctum.so/cloud. And the last thing that I would like to share is, of course, Sanctum V2! So one shout out that I would love to give about Sanctum V2, specifically the website portion of it, is that under the leadership and stewardship of Jay, who is one of the co-founders of Sanctum, we actually got this done from start to finish in 3 weeks. We went from zero to a fully developed website. In fact, one of our developers, Kunal, bless his heart, it was Kunal and Albert who worked very, very hard on this website. And Kunal, I felt so bad. He was, I think it was 2 days ago. He'd finally finished all the coding for the new website, and he's like, guys, I just need like one day. I just need one day to take a break, because truly I am just feeling a little bit burnt out. So Kunal, I don't know if you're watching. You're probably not because you're taking a break. But thank you very much, sir, for all your hard work, and also to our very good friend Ali Apau. He's been doing a wonderful job as well. They got this website shipped very, very quickly. And also a major kudo over to another co-founder of Sanctum, CW, and also Aaron, who is working with him. That's the design team that represents Sanctum. If you like the designs that you're seeing out of Sanctum, it's coming from the brains of those two very beautiful men. And honestly, Sanctum V2 is something that we're very proud of. It is the culmination of months and months of work. And here's what we're telling you with Sanctum V2. We saw some people on Discord who are like, oh my God, these guys are just announcing things that they've already talked about. But those are our super fans. Those are people who already know what we're doing because they watch these forecasts every single week. But our mission as a company is to expand beyond the core community. And of course, we will always take care of the core community, but we need to expand beyond the core community so that people are aware of our products and services. Sanctum is no longer just the LST Infinite Future company. It's no longer the case. We do not just work on LSTs, okay? LSTs are a core part of our product suite. They always will be. It was our key insight that staking on Solana did not need to be like Ethereum. On Ethereum, it was a winner-take-all market. What we learned over here in Solana is that when you take the marginal cost of producing a new LST to zero, you can create all sorts of fascinating new use cases. Now, your vanilla LSTs, of course, they're going to accrue value relative to Sol. So you're basically preserving the value of your Sol because there's Solana inflation, and you're also earning block rewards as well as MEV rewards. So it's one of the best ways, to accrue more Solana using an LST. If you don't want to use an LST, don't worry. We got an even better solution for you. It's called INF. And now INF, of course, is an LST index that includes the trading fees when people swap back and forth between different LSTs. INF is the highest yielding Solana asset, period. Right. And that's due to the wonderful work that Alkine does. Alkine, of course, has been with us since the Socian days. He's also an early community member. He works very, very hard to rebalance INF so that it's always providing the best yield. And as well, he's working a lot with different partners to making sure that we have the best allocation for INF. I guess I'm just repeating and rebalancing, but also the swap fees do a lot. That's why it's the highest yielding asset, because it doesn't just include the index of LSTs, but also the swap fees. And so you're just not going to find a better performing product than INF. But we are no longer just that company anymore. We've grown up, we've matured, we've grown the team. And so that means that we also have transaction routing, right? This means that for companies, they have peace of mind when it comes to landing transactions, especially during periods of very high network activity. So that's Gateway, right? And we also have our white label validator as a service. We can run your validator for you with zero additional engineering overhead. This is a full suite of products, from LSTs to white label validators to transaction delivery. We call this staking as a service. This is a full stack staking solution. So if you hear your friends saying, oh my God, Sanctum, isn't that the LST company? Wrong. It is not just the LST company. It is the full stack staking company. I want everybody in the world to know it. And so that is why we did Horizon. It is our version of Apple WWDC. We believe it will be the new standard that serious companies will take to concentrate attention around their new product suites. And we will continue to do this going forward. So anyways, I just want to say thank you very much. And Guac, thank you for keeping an open mind true. Didn't think of the wider perspective when I first saw it. Handshake to you, my friend. And speaking of that, he also says, I've been watching those tip wallets. Well, if you've been watching those tip wallets, then you can also do the math and model out how much more revenue that will be for Sanctum. And by the way, we're just getting started. All right, Gateway is a very young product, and it's already on pace to rival our revenue that we have for LSTs. And I just cannot wait for what that's going to mean for the rest of the Cloud fam and everybody who has taken a chance on believing on in us, especially with Cloud. Whew, I'm 40 minutes into the stream and I still haven't even gotten to the main topic. So if you missed Horizon 2025, if you want to see exactly what I was talking about, we spent about a month and a half filming about 6 hours of footage and dozens of hours in post production to get that video all done. So I really want you folks to, if you would like, it's like watching I loved watching the comments yesterday on the stream. People were so hyped. They're like, holy crap, this is like watching Sanctum TV. I love that idea. Sanctum TV, we got to make that happen. So please scan this QR code if you want to see our major Horizon event yesterday. I think we have over 50,000 people who have seen the event so far. But I want to pump those numbers. I want that number to be 500,000. I know that's a little unrealistic, but hey, you make the unrealistic things possible when you believe it deep in your heart. And you can only start with your deep belief in things, and that actually includes LSTs. That's something that really surprised me in my interview with FP a couple of weeks ago. He was telling me that he couldn't explain in the very beginning why he felt so strongly that an infinite LST future would work. But it was only while he was he and the team were working on it that he realized that, again, there's this room for innovation if you bring the marginal cost of creating an LST to zero, because everyone can use it for different use cases. You can peg an LST 1-to-1 with Solana and then take all the yield and send it to a different address and then use that 1-to-1 pegged LST as an LP token. This would be great for DEXs, right? Who are trying to attract, liquidity providers, right? So basically, they would be LPing with an LST that's 1-to-1 pegged with Sol, and that just means that there's way more stake going into Solana, and it also means that there are fees that are accruing into a wallet that you can use as incentives for your LPs. I mean, these are all just very, very powerful use cases. We're even speaking with a team that's thinking of using LSTs as an insurance fund. Think about that, right? You can't do that on Ethereum. That's only possible on Solana. And again, if you were like me, you believe that Solana is going to grow 1000x, and you also believe that Sanctum is going to be the company that captures that value at every layer of the stack. And that means value accrual to cloud holders, especially when we become a unicorn. Thank you very much for your time. Okay, so for today's agenda, of course, we just covered Horizons, but now we're going to cover a few fun Tarky updates, as well as what to expect going forward. So let's start with fun Tarky. Cloud fam, we're always smashing records, okay? It's something that we're very proud of. We like to do things a little bit weird and a little different here. And previously, we had over 1,800 voters. We don't have the graph for this because it hasn't been updated. But what you would know about FunTarky is that we are the biggest FunTarky by far. There's no other community out there on Solana that does it like we do. Okay. In fact, you can take all the other protocols that are using FunTarky, actually FuTarky. You can take all the different protocols that are using FuTarky, and they don't even come close to our numbers collectively. It's insane. And in fact, it's no longer over 1,800 voters. We actually have over 1,900 voters. So thank you to the 100 new voters that have joined us over for FuTarky. We really appreciate you guys participating. Obviously, we're going to be getting into ASR in just a second, but just want to say thank you to the almost 2,000 people who have made Sanctum governance what it is. It's been an absolute pleasure to work on it. And right now we have close to 75 million cloud staked. That is really, really cool. I don't know what to say. It's really great to see that much cloud staked. And it just means that there's a vote of confidence from a lot of folks who have given us a lot of trust. One note that I would like to make is that, and I said this before in a forecast, but I'd like to repeat this again, which is that we don't take it for granted that you staked your cloud. We don't. Especially with a 30-day unstake period, we understand that it means that you have to trust us, right? Here's what we can say. We don't know what governance incentives or ASR will look like in the future. But what we do know as a company is that we will take care of our stakers. I promise you that. I don't know what that looks like. We don't know the exact mechanics, but there is no universe in which we ditch our cloud stakers. There's no universe in which that happens. We will take care of you. What that looks like exactly and what form, is it ASR? Is it Wonderland Season 2? Is it like a new product? Like whatever it may be, we will find a way to take care of you. So I just want to say that unequivocally, because really when I hear people ask me like, well, when's ASR Season 3? they're not really asking about ASR Season 3. What they're really asking is this: do you care about me? Do you understand that I took a risk staking my cloud? What they're saying is, are you thinking about my well-being? That's what they're asking when they ask about ASR Season 3. So I don't have a direct answer for ASR Season 3, but I do have a direct answer for, do you care about me, a cloud staker? Do you understand that I have taken risk here, and that I need you to make sure that you take care of me? Yes, we understand. We understand the premise of that question. And to everyone who has staked their cloud here, I just want to say thank you so much for the vote of confidence, and can't wait to do great things together in the future. Going forward, CLOUD-005, we had this question, should Sanctum offer investors early unlocks on their cloud? Okay, and here was just like the basics of CLOUD-005. We don't need to belabor this a little bit too long, but 9% of the token supply from the investor allocation will be unlocking over the next 2 years. And so what we propose is that investors would immediately unlock, but they would be forfeiting 35% of the tokens to go back to the Sanctum Reserve. And if this proposal were to pass and every investor were to say yes to the proposal, that would mean up to an additional 27 million cloud added to the Sanctum Reserve and a healthier long-term token supply. But the market said no. The market said that it failed. And we are 100% okay with that. I read some comments, some posts on Twitter. They're like, well, the team seems like they really wanted this proposal, and nothing could be farther from the truth. First of all, I want to say, and I want to give a huge thank you to James, who is an OG Cloud member as well. Many of you know him as the whiteboard guy. He is the one who helped popularize. I think he was a large part of why LST, our Infinite LST Future, got to where it is, because he was able to explain to people what Sanctum was in the plainest terms, especially in the beginning when folks didn't know who we were. So we really owe James a great debt of gratitude, not only for his contributions early on in Sanctum's journey, but even now. Even now, he's helping us craft really quality proposals, and we super appreciate that. And so we want what's best for the cloud token. And what's best for the cloud token is what the community thinks is going to be bullish, right? So I said this before in a previous forecast. When it came to CLOUD-004, if you guys remember, that was like, should Sanctum develop Sanctum Mobile? We were a little bummed out, FP especially, that it didn't pass, right? Maybe not sad or crying in the office or like super upset at everybody. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. But certainly, we really wanted CLOUD-004 to pass, right? But as it pertains to CLOUD-005, this is all about the cloud token, right? This is all about what's good for the cloud token. And the only thing that will be good for the cloud token is what the community finds to be bullish. And this time around, the community did not find it to be bullish. So I want to clear any misconceptions out there that the team had some sort of agenda and that like there's some sort of like hidden, like, oh, it seems like the team really wanted this to pass. Why? It's like, because we just want what's best for the cloud token. So if you guys were to vote and say that, hey, we should get rid of the specter of overhangs, then okay. We were happy to do the investor outreach and give them a 35% discount on their tokens. Well, we would be taking that 35%. And then adding that to the team reserve, letting them do whatever it is that they want to do with the cloud token, whether it would be to offload them for short-term pain, or to participate in governance. But you guys decided that that is not what's bullish for the cloud token. And that is what real governance is. Real governance isn't you folks just like listening to whatever we say. Real governance is everybody coming together to have a group discussion, and at the end of that group discussion, to vote with a financial stake. And then you guys did, and you guys decided that CLOUD-005 is not bullish for the cloud token. So I just want to say I really appreciate your time, your effort, your capital, everybody who participated in CLOUD-005. Let's see. Anonym001, volumes were low on CLOUD-005. These investors are not interested in the proposal to pass. Yeah, sure. That's totally fine. We're happy with that. That's okay. We just want to do what's bullish for you, and we appreciate that you guys participated in our governance processes. Sorry, my mouth is a little dry, but thank you for participating in this governance process. Now, what to expect? Drum roll, please. I think somebody said the magic question. Where is the magic question? Aha. Well, he I didn't spell all the words correctly, but I think that might have been intentional. When AS rewards. I think what he's saying is when ASR rewards. So when active staking rewards. Well, ASR distribution. Drum roll, please. You see that little fuzzy bit? It's that was Nick's idea, by the way. I thought it was a very clever idea. Drum roll, please. ASR distribution will be coming next month. We do not want to promise any dates. Obviously, there when it comes to token distributions, guys, you cannot screw that up. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot screw up token distributions because you only really get one shot to do it right. And if you make any mistakes there, I mean, you know, it can be disastrous to perception of the token. And so, like, this is a very conservative date. It will be sometime in the month of September, sooner rather than later, but still, we cannot commit to a date. But sometime this month, obviously, we will be doing ASR distribution. And one thing that I'd like to comment for ASR distribution, because there seems to be some confusing over the wording of CLOUD-001, is that the rewards, the 30 million cloud, was split into two tranches. There's tranche number one, which started around March, if I'm not mistaken, and tranche number two, which started a few months ago, around like May, June, right? So the confusion is whether or not like your ASR rewards were dependent on the votes just during tranche one or just during tranche two, right? And I think that there were some people who were under the impression, and I totally understand why they felt this way, that the only vote that counted for ASR two is actually in tranche two. I actually got a few messages from community members. I will be answering you soon. It just took me a while to confirm this, and I also wanted to talk about this during the forecast. So as you know, so that I could just tell everybody, and you can yell at me separately on Telegram. And I actually have a couple of calls I'm taking with the community, with Cloud members who are who want to talk about this, and I will give them the exact same explanation that I'm giving right now, which is despite the fact that we have 30 million cloud that is being split between tranche one and tranche two, the score that is applied, the staking score for your shares of the tokens, the 50 million tokens for tranche two, is actually determined by your total staking score that you earned from the beginning to the end of season one and season two. That is how we've done it. And this is because we feel like it's fair to reward the people who have been staking with us since the very beginning. We feel like it would be unfair for people who joined like last minute, right? To get like an oversized share of ASR2 rewards. We'd much rather reward Cloud fam that have been active in their votes, starting from season one all the way to season two. So you can almost think of the 15 million cloud that we distributed as good faith. We did that earlier than we needed to because we wanted to reward people and incentivize people to show them like, hey, if you participate, then you know, you earn for those rewards, right? The 15 million, and that also, if you voted for the second half, you know, during the second half, I mean, you didn't miss out, right? Like you're still going to be, especially if you have a qualified vote with at least $10 USTC or $10, cloud, right? I want to make that very clear. You need at least $10, a $10 trade to make that happen. But the point that I'm trying to make is that ASR distribution will be happening on September, and your share of the 15 million cloud that will be distributed in September is going to be, you know, some function of all the participation from day one of ASR all the way to today. Never miss another forecast. If you want another forecast in your calendar, all you got to do is scan this QR code. It says Wednesday over here. Obviously, today is a Thursday. Today was a bit of a, you know, a forecast that we wanted to do as a thank you for everyone who watched Horizon yesterday, and for people who have participated in the CLOUD-005 vote. We couldn't not do a forecast because we just closed out a vote. So we obviously, and people have been really curious about ASR. So thought I would just clear up any confusion over here. And I hope that's all been made very clear through this update. And if there's any questions that people want to ask, is the total voting score across all participants available? No. We had like a really deep discussion about why we didn't want to do this. I feel There are many reasons for why we didn't like for example, we were thinking about doing a leaderboard. But no, we do not show the total voting score across all participants. I think you will be able to see on chain that we have distributed all the cloud. So that can be tracked. I mean, it's a bit of work, but that can all be tracked. But no, the total voting score across all participants is not available. Not at this time. Any other questions? That was a good question, though. I really appreciate that. I just like Jishi. I just appreciate that he asked this question. I really do. I like people who ask good quality questions. But yes, Gateway is a for-profit endeavor. This is not a charity. Will the forecast be done weekly now? Already answered this, but no. I got sales to do, man. These forecasts take up a lot of time. I love you guys, but I gotta work. Okay. I am seeing no new questions here. I really appreciate you. What is my hair care routine? I shower and I use shampoo like everyone else. I'm not bringing that question up, but that is a question that was asked. What's causing the ASR distribution taking longer than it did for the first tranche? Would assume things would be easier given that it's done once before. Genga, I'm just being conservative, okay? Because the worst thing to do is to promise tomorrow, as an example, and then for it to take like another week, right? So you should not take a September. See, I get screwed either way. If I say that it's going to take this window of time, people go like, "Oh my god, is it going to take a really long time?" It's like, no, it's not going to take a really long. But at the same time, I have to give our time a buffer just in case something bad happens. Like we just don't. I don't know what I don't know. They don't know what they don't know. We're just being very conservative here. That's all we meant. Yeah, that's fair. Was curious. You're good. I appreciate you. we just don't want to get yelled at. Okay, like we want to. Oh God, this job is so hard. It's like we don't want to get yelled at. We just want to do the right thing. We want to communicate clearly, but we also just don't want to bullshit you, right? So like this is my honest answer. It will be done in September. Sooner the better. Soon, and trust me, we were talking about it a lot internally. We just don't want to screw it up. And so that's why we're just giving ourselves a large window of time, just in case. Just in case, right? We need a little bit more time. But yeah, we do think it's going to take a little sooner rather than later. But no promises. No promises. Okay. Love you all. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's forecast. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend this hour with you. If you watched Horizons yesterday, I really appreciate it. And in fact, I would like to bring this up one more time. Bring it up one more time. We have the Horizons QR code right over here. Bada bing, bada boom. So I really encourage you all, if you missed out on the Horizons forecast yesterday, you scan this QR code and you're going to see absolute art. Absolute art. And I'd also like to give another shout out to our Chief Marketing Officer, Bart, who's done a wonderful job planning this campaign. I'd also love to give a huge shout out to our video editor, Caveman. He basically killed himself over the last few days, just making sure that the video was absolutely spotless. And you wouldn't, I mean, bro, when you give somebody like 6 hours of footage, it actually takes a lot to whittle that down to an hour. So I just genuinely, I appreciate all the work that Caveman Bart does. There's of course the Gateway team, Pavs, Sayantan. Shoot, there's too many names to mention. I'm very tired as well. But basically, I just want to say everybody at Sanctum is working very hard. We care about you, and I love what McEldarren says. It takes me a while to give me 10 million cloud. Yeah, nice try, Bozo. Okay. I really appreciate you, everybody. Thank you very much for joining today, and I'll see you on the next forecast. And I'm going to bring Nick here one more time just so that we can say, ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. Just so that we can say, Nick.
Hey,
thank you, Nick.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Great
for
job,
tuning
Nick.
in.
Okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the Cloud fam, and of course, you guys know the drill. Long live Sanctum. Peace out. Nick, you want to end the stream?
Yeah. Yep. Woo-hoo.